is Ryan.
Hello, I was wanting to inquire about purchasing a guitar for my grandson.
What was that, boss?
I was wanting to inquire about purchasing a guitar for my grandson.
Yeah? Well, you want it acoustic or electric?
Well, he watched this show on YouTube called Burst Believer Fever, and I want to get him one of them guitars of the guy on the show. His name is Tom something. Tom begin with a B, I think.
I'm not familiar with him, but I guess I can look him up real quick and we can see what kind of guitar he plays.
Yeah, I'm not very good with the computer, but his name, his show he watches called Burst Believer Fever.
Yep. All right. First Believer Fever?
Burst, like something blew up, it burst. Burst Believer Fever. The guy's name is Tom something, begin with a B, Tom Bukovac something.
Looks like this guy plays like a few different things, but he looks like he mainly plays maybe like a Les Paul of some sort.
Oh, okay, that sounds about right. It's by Gibson?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, yeah, you got any of them Gibson Les Pauls in there?
I've got a bunch of Gibson Les Pauls. They're on average around $3,000.
That's okay. I got a good retirement check for $10,000. I think I can afford one that's around $3,000 or $4,000.
Nice. It looks like that guy plays one of the ones that's kind of what we call like a lighter color sunburst. That's based off something called the Heritage Cherry Sunburst.
Oh.
So I've got a couple of different takes on the Heritage Cherry burst. Back in 1959, if you bought a Heritage Cherry Les Paul Sunburst, that was the only Sunburst they sold.
Oh, okay.
But over time, as the guitar would get older, sometimes the burst would turn a little darker around the edges instead of being like a brighter red. It would go almost to like a deep red or like a brownish color. And in some of them, the red would almost disappear and it would almost turn into like a very light brown.
It's funny that you mentioned that because my grandson said this guy, Tom Guitar, was named Baby Puke because it looked like a baby puked on it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so because some of them almost turned green, and stuff, right? Some of them did kind of almost turn like a yellowish pink, green or something,
If you tell the truth, you're going to ruffle feathers. If you tell the truth, you'll lose your job. If you tell the truth, people think you're a bad guy.
And spend all your cash on vintage guitars. And spend all your cash on vintage guitars.
What's up? How's it going? The jig is up. Okay? The jig is up. Back in when I was coming up as a guitar player, you hear about these old guitars, these vintage guitars, these great sounding guitars, these 59s, these 60s, 1959 Les Paul, but you never get to hear one. You never get to see one. They're nowhere around. So of course, millions of people can proclaim, well, this is the greatest sounding guitar ever. Hundreds of thousands of people can claim this. Millions of people can claim this. There's no way to check it. There's no way to be like, well, I don't know, man. That one didn't sound that good. Because you can't hear one. You can't find one. Well, with the modern day guitar with the modern day internet, the jig is up. The jig is up. What does the jig is up mean? A dishonest plan or activity has been discovered and will not be allowed to continue. Now, the dishonest plan is to sell these guitars based on the fact they're the greatest sounding guitar ever. Because the thing is, all these guys that claim this is the greatest sounding guitar ever, they're all selling it. They want you to buy it, and they want you to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for these guitars. See, people are going to say, well, they're a collector's item. They're historically significant, this and that. True. But what about the 53 Les Paul? What about the 54 Les Paul? What about the 55 Les Paul? What about the 56 Les Paul? Historically, aren't these significant? Of course they are, but they are $20,000, $40,000, $50,000. A 1959 Les Paul is $350,000, $400,000, $500,000 for a guitar. Why? It's not the historical significance. It's the lie, the deception, the ruse that it's the greatest sounding guitar ever made. As I've heard it, it's the guitar by which all of the others are measured. It's the greatest sounding guitar ever. If you watch my last video, the guy on the phone was like, those 59 pickups are some of the greatest ever made. That's part of the lie, part of the ruse with this guitar. It's got the greatest pickups ever made in it. It's the greatest sounding guitar ever made. That's the lie. So, like I said, when I was growing up, you could never hear one. You couldn't find one. Nobody ever had one. So, with the internet, we can hear these guitars now because there's a bunch of people online who are more than happy to have their 1959 guitar out so you can see it, you can hear it now. Okay? So the jig is up, guys, because we hear your 1959 guitar, and guess what? It don't sound that good. It's not the greatest sounding guitar I've ever heard. It's not the best sounding guitar of all time. How do we know this? Because we can hear it. There's no more myth. There's no more speculation. There's no more mystery. So imagine this. You couldn't hear one. Someone goes, oh, yeah, that's the greatest sounding guitar ever. What does it sound like? Well, we don't have any sound examples. So you're going to have to take my word for it. But now we don't have to take their word for it. The jig is up. We can hear it. And like I said, one of the guys that's claiming this is the best sounding guitar of all time is this guy, Drew Berlin, right? Who was hired by Guitar Center to form a consortium called the Burst Brothers, specifically to buy and sell vintage instruments for Guitar Center. And he and his buddy generated over $10 million in sales for Guitar Center. You think there's an ulterior motive there? There's not. It's in plain sight. Money. Okay? Money. All right? So all these guys claiming this is the best sounding guitar ever, they're all selling these guitars. What's his name? Tom Wittrock, guitar dealer. Drew Berlin, guitar dealer. The guy who wrote Burst Believer, he owns a guitar store. So here we have Drew with the best sounding guitar in the world, a 1959 Les Paul. And I mean, come on, guys, look at the color of this guitar. It's garbage. It looks horrible. But that aside, now you're about to hear the greatest sounding guitar in the world. Okay, you're about to hear the legendary 1959 Les Paul. All right, you're about to hear a guitar that costs $350,000, $450,000. You're about to hear it right now. Okay, open up your mind. Okay, get rid. And this is not manipulated. I'm not manipulating this. I'm not engineering this. This is straight off their video. This is their recording of the guitar, not mine. Okay, so open up your mind. Okay, break the myth. Try to listen with your ears to what this guitar actually sounds like. Okay, not the myth that it's the greatest sound. Not listen to the guitar. Okay, this is a 1959 Les Paul right here. Come on, man. You're telling me that is the greatest sounding guitar you ever heard? You're going to sit here and tell me that is the greatest sounding guitar in the history of the world? You got to, if you really believe that, hey, that's fine. But I think if you listen to this guitar with your ears and not clouded with delusion, you'll hear it don't sound that good, guys. It don't sound that good. Now here's Premier Guitar. This is a young guitar player named Grace Bowers. She's recording a record. So the guy at Gibson, this guy right here, Caesar, who owns Gibson, or not, doesn't own it, he's the CEO of Gibson, number one guy at Gibson, lends her this guitar named Gemini. Okay, this is the guitar Gemini. I found a picture of the neck of Gemini up close. Look at this. This is what you want your guitar neck to look like and feel like. Look at this. There's a chunk out of it. There's a big chunk out of it right here. It's a big chunk out of it right here. So when you're playing this, that ain't smooth. You're going to feel that. Look at that. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel these ridges right here where the finish is completely trashed. Look at this. The finish on this guitar is completely trashed. This is the neck. That's what you want your neck to look like. Are you being, I mean, you can't, I can't even take these guys seriously. Like, I really, as a guitar player, maybe as a collector, that's what you want. Maybe. As a guitar player, somebody who plays a guitar, I don't want to feel divots and gouges in the neck of my guitar. I don't want to feel the finish cracking. I don't want to feel the finish breaking off. I don't want to feel it being brittle. I don't want that. I don't want that. But that aside, that's what the neck, back of the neck of this guitar looks like. This is the guitar sound right here. So she borrows this guitar, Gemini, from this guy. Not this guy, this guy. Caesar. She borrows it, and this is what it sounds like. She's doing a demo of the guitar. A 1959 Burst. Okay. Can you hear the fluttering in this thing? This is a something that I've noticed about these guitars. The signal is not, it flutters. It doesn't stay steady or something. Hear that? Hear that? Wow. Wow. I love this guy's reaction. Wow. And she's laughing. Oh, yeah, that sounded great. Huh? No, it sounded like garbage. Okay, let me help you out. Sounds like garbage. Okay. Now, later on in the video, he's because once again, this guy's around guitars all the time. He's blown away by this 59 because he's delusional about it. You know, he's heard this myth too for literally decades. So he's bought into it completely. He believes this 59 sounds great. Doesn't matter what it sounds like. He thinks this is the greatest guitar ever. Hey guys, sorry, I have to break in here. Tom needs money. Tom is desperately in need of money. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but on Tom's videos, he has a little section down at the bottom. He's in dire need of money. He's got a $250,000 guitar collection. He's got a $50,000 vintage car. He gets paid $600 an hour to do studio work. He just played on 40 songs on the most popular country artist in the world, Morgan Wallen's record, did 40 songs for him. And just in case you don't know, he needs money. There's a tip jar you could potentially get involved with. The proceeds go towards the imaginary Uncle Larry Foundation, which needs money. That exists only in my head. Its sole purpose is to pay for the endless supply of groceries that must be purchased to feed these growing boys. Tom needs money, so since I have Venmo, I'm going to, let's see here, Venmo, get on here and see if I can, what do you think I should send? How much should I send Tom? What do you think? $1,000? Okay, Tom, there you go. There's $1,000. I'll send it to you right now. Okay. Well, I hope that helps, Tom. Listen to him.
What a great guitar. Wow. Okay. So.
See, he says, what a great guitar. Like expecting her to expound on it. Oh, yeah, it's the best sounding guitar ever. It's the greatest thing ever made since sliced bread. This is the one you want to get. This is it. This is the holy grail. This is the most fan. That's what he wants to hear from Grace. Grace doesn't say that. She awkwardly laughs because she knows it's a piece of garbage. She knows it don't sound that good. She knows it ain't that great. She's a young girl. She's a young guitar player. She hasn't been exposed to these like I have for 30 years of hearing this lie, 30 years of hearing this bullshit, 30 years of hearing this jig, this deception. She's never heard it, or she's only heard for a couple years. She's heard it. And when she's playing one, she's going, well, ain't really that great, guys. I hate to say this, but not that great. Watch her.
Wow. Okay. So when you, wow. Okay. So wow. Okay. So
She's just laughing.
What a great guitar. Wow. Okay. So
see, she looks down. He goes, what a great guitar. She looks down at it, looks up. She knows it ain't that good. She knows the guitar is not that great.
What a great guitar. Wow. Okay. So
she had nothing to say about it. Because it ain't that great of a guitar, guys. You've been lied to. You've been lied to. So Yeah, I had to write a song about it. Here you go.
It's time for all these old guys to admit their old beat up guitars are just plain shit. The Golden Era guitars are totally overrated. Over the years their sound has degraded. The wood is dried up, shriveled and harsh, the tone is gone. Time to buy a new guitar and move on.
Time to buy a new guitar, move on, guys. It's time to get past the bullshit that people like Drew have been expounding for decades. You know, these guys that are making a bunch of money on this guitar. It really is. It's time to move on. It's time to get past that. It's time to up your game to get a guitar that sounds good. Okay, that's all there is to it. I'll see you next time.